Mom picked up a pair of pliers after my baby tooth fell out and looked at my brother. Open wide, sweetheart. We need to keep things fair. Mom had a twin sister growing up, and their parents weren't shy about how they loved her sister more, which haunted her entire life. So when Mom had twin boys of her own, she swore she'd never play favorites. Everything equal, she'd say. Always. It started with things that almost made sense, like dessert portions measured on a kitchen scale and a timer running whenever she spent one-on-one time with either of us. If one of us got in trouble at school, we both lost TV because it wasn't fair for one twin to suffer alone. My brother needed glasses in 2nd grade, and Mom took me to 3 different optometrists until she found one willing to write me a prescription I didn't need. I spent 2 years with constant headaches because my glasses were fixing problems that weren't there. When I got a cold, we both took antibiotics, and when my brother sprained his ankle, I had to use crutches too. It was strange, but it was manageable, and we thought that was as bad as it would get. Then I turned 8 and lost my first baby tooth at dinner. I showed Mom the bloody gap in my smile, proud of myself, and she looked at my brother's mouth and went quiet. An hour later, I was standing in the bathroom doorway, watching her pin my brother to the tile floor with her knee on his chest. He was screaming, and I was screaming, and she was working a pair of pliers around a tooth that wasn't even loose, saying, hold still, he'll thank me later when he doesn't feel less than you," while blood ran down his chin and his shrieks bounced off the walls. The tooth came out with a crack, and something broke in our house that night that never got fixed. My brother didn't speak to either of us for a week, and I didn't sleep without nightmares for a month, and Mom walked around smiling like she'd done something heroic. Equal love means equal everything, she told us. I won't let either of you grow up feeling like less. After that night, we understood there were no limits, and we started thinking of ourselves as one person in 2 bodies, because that was the only way any of it made sense. I broke my wrist, and she drove my brother to an urgent care in another county and told them he fell too, so he wore a cast on his healthy arm for 6 weeks, while the bone underneath stayed perfect. He got a cavity, and she scheduled me for the same filling on a tooth that didn't need it, and I sat in that chair feeling the drill bite into healthy enamel, while the dentist kept asking, "Are you sure about this?" And Mom kept saying, "He's sure." She took us for ice cream afterward like it was a reward. We started hiding things because there was nothing else we could do. My brother walked on a twisted ankle for a month rather than tell her, and I hid a stomach bug for 3 days, because the last time one of us got sick, she'd made the healthy one drink syrup that makes you vomit until we matched. But hiding only made it worse because she started doing inspections, stripping us down to compare every bruise and mark on our bodies. When she caught my brother hiding a scraped knee, she held my leg against the pavement until I matched him, and after that, we stopped trying to hide anything at all. Every day felt like waiting for something terrible to happen, and it could be anything from a bee sting to a broken bone to a bad fall. Teachers noticed the matching injuries and prescriptions and scars, but Mom always had paperwork from real doctors, and no one could prove anything was wrong. We were 12 and living on borrowed time, and we knew it. My brother came home from school one day and collapsed in the kitchen doorway with his throat swelling shut. We didn't know he had an allergy because Mom had never let us be tested separately for anything, and by the time I got to him, his face was purple and he could barely breathe. I screamed for Mom to get the EpiPen from the drawer, and she ran and grabbed it, but then she just stopped, standing there holding it and looking back and forth between me and my dying brother. "I can't give him something this big without giving you something equal," she said slowly. He was turning blue while she looked around the kitchen for another needle. "Just do it," I begged. "Just save him." "I have to find something for you first," she said, opening another drawer. "It wouldn't be fair otherwise." I watched my brother's lips go purple while our mother searched the kitchen, so I shoved her out of the way and grabbed the EpiPen and jabbed it into his thigh myself. He started breathing again, but the paramedic said the delay did damage, and at the hospital, a social worker found our medical records and pulled me aside while Mom was talking to the doctors. "Why do you and your brother have the exact same medical history?" she asked. "Same procedures, same prescriptions, everything?" I looked at Mom through the window, still smiling. Then I told the social worker everything. "I was keeping things equal," Mom said calmly when they confronted her. "I'm a good mother, and I would never let one of my children feel less than the other the way I felt my whole life." She smiled at the social worker. The social worker did not smile back. Mom lost custody that week. My brother's lungs never fully healed, and I still catch myself feeling guilty that mine did.